Geiger, issue number 4. This was a really fun issue. You know, I've always just been amazed with Geoff Johns' writing. I know some people are like, nah, he's not good anymore. I think he's been good since the beginning, dudes. I really like him, and this is just shown, yeah, he can do his own thing, play with his own, characters, open his own toy box, and have fun with it. And you know what? This was a really smart issue because it just said, here's all the information you might have missed. Here's just some added details to expand our world and our lore, and it's just really fun stuff. I think it's really cool. So again, we open up with a flashback, learning a little bit more about how Geiger got where he is. Tariq Geiger, we see that Dr. Molotov is this doctor that was helping him become the person he is today. They're doing experiments kind of while the war is beginning. And then we get a couple of pages just seeing Geiger going around with Haley and Henry, helping them out. They get some food. They're staying at a hotel. I just love the idea that the 2 letters burnt out make the hotel sign spell hell. Very funny stuff. So they're inside like a little bunker. That's the hotel room. Very cool stuff. And we learn that this is not a regular dog. It's a wolf. And it's just like, oh, we named the wolf. His name is Barney. A 2-headed wolf named Barney. The kids think it's funny. But hey, sometimes it's again classic Geoff Johns, just a little silly remark with that guy. Again, this is just your classic stuff we're seeing in comic books and in fiction right now of like the Oz wide Mandalorian type traveling around with Grogu. He's taking these kids to their destination to make them safe. It makes sense. This is the tropes and stuff that we're seeing today. And with the Gary Frank and Geoff Johns guys, it looks really cool and it feels really cool. So Haley kind of asks, how can you walk around without the suit? And it's a long story, but she's interested to hear what it is. And we learn that he was in an accident. We see some stuff like there was the explosion that happened while he was getting his cancer treatments in this world. And this is where the radiation hit him as these things were happening. We're learning right now as the pieces connect, as this explosion happened that he was trying to fix him. This is where he gets his radiation. He hears his kids, I should say, in the bunker screaming for him, but there's nothing he can do to help them. And basically, it's like, how do we keep the powers dampened? That is what we need the boron for. So the sticks that he's been using to beat up people are just sticks of pure boron, which I'm like, that's a cool use, man. Again, I don't know shit about the elements, but if boron, you could turn into a weapon, that would probably hurt, right? I imagine that's a pretty dense metal, because it has to be able to conduct or dampen the energy fields of whatever's coming off from the radiation. Is boron something they'd use in a nuclear plant? Maybe. I think that's kind of cool. So it adds to that. And as they continue driving away, they kind of see these people in the distance. Who are they? We don't know. But there's this creepy dude who keeps going yum yum, watching them. Again, filling out the world. And talk about filling out the world even more. We go back to Camelot. We go back to the Camelot in Vegas because we can't get Excalibur's rights, which is fine. And the king's like, okay, you fed my mother, the beast? He's like, you mean the queen? No, you call her the beast because she's a beast. And in a very harrowing, scary feeling thing, again, very classic Geoff Johns for some reason, we realize that the king has his queen, and it is his mother, who is turned into a glutton-ridden slob who is in the darkened pits of some basement, looking like a monster. But the only reason she's alive is because she has the launch codes, and he needs them. Once he gets the nuclear football, the king has taken all the shit down, and it is just a horrific looking woman. She's missing teeth. There's warts and shit coming all on her. It's disgusting. She's missing an eye. It is disturbing and it looks great. So how do you make this woman, who's kind of a creature at this point, a beast as you will, interrogate her? How do you make her get the answers out of her? So you shine some bright lights on her, and that's what she does. We realize that the king's name is Jeremy. So he's a young little guy. We also learn later, after we go to Treasure Island, Goldbeards, because we don't have the rights to Treasure Island in Vegas. We learn that the kid Jeremy was the son of a senator, and that the mom was actually kind of cute back in the day. And basically, we see that the pirate Goldbeard is working with the woman from New York, but not actually New York, the Manhattan. Because, it's glitz and glamour and everything, and they're going to team up, and they're going to take down the king. It's time to get rid of the king. Again, it's not a Geoff Johns thing if we don't reference a different time period with a woman with one of those weird headbands and long pearls. He loves that era. I don't blame him. It's really cool. So, yeah, let's overthrow this shitty little king guy. I hate him. I say, take him down. So the mobster and the pirate are going to take down the king. Very cool. I actually really like that idea. This is building up the world again. And speaking of building up the world again, as our people start traveling across the wastelands, they see in the distance these people trying to attack them. And this is where it gets Mad Max. If you thought it was just going to be, Las Vegas fun, nope, we got some Mad Max. These are the Oregon people. They refuse to wear, their suits, which you could attribute to a slight remark on. These people chose not to wear the mask, and now they got the disease. I don't know. This probably was written before that or during this. I don't know. But I could just see that being like, hey, you should wear your mask. Hey, you should wear your radiation suit, or you're going to become a disgusting tumor-ridden cannibal and try to take organs from people to survive. So they try to attack. We see that Haley has to take the wheel because Geiger is going to go outside and kick some ass, and it's very cool stuff. He just throws himself out the window, starts beating them up, goes full glowing man on them, attacks them with the boron sticks. It's really cool. We realize that if like a knife or something tries to touch the skull of the glowing man, it just like disintegrates and burns on him. And it's very cool. It's a really nice fight scene. I think of all the reveals of the glowing man in every issue, this one didn't have that big reveal. It was just kind of like, yeah, here he is. I guess 4 issues in, we don't have to have the big reveal. I just kind of missed it because I just like seeing like those full page spreads of the glowing man. This time he's not wearing the hood though, so it's like, let's have fun and go crazy. We see that he just kind of like jumps in front of a car and like the car explodes in front of him, and then we don't really see what happened to Geiger after that. So the kids kind of like slowly crash the car down, and Haley wants to go out to see if Geiger's okay, but her brother's like, maybe we shouldn't. This guy seems capable to do things on his own, and she gets grabbed by one of the Oregon people, and a bullet comes flying through the guy's head, and we realize they might have found a safe haven somewhere. Because we see the U.S. military, potentially, they have the American flags, and they got like an army jeep. So the military could be here to save these kids. And you know what? That's a great place to end this book because you established a lot of fun stuff. Again, Geoff Johns is just a natural-born storyteller. He knows how to, and not just a storyteller, a comic book storyteller. He knows how to make it work in those 22 pages, and that is really cool to see. We get more stuff about Tariq's past. We learn a little bit more about Henry and Haley. We learn more about the king. We learn about the coup that could be arising in the kingdom. We now have new enemies. We had the giant ants in the last one, and now we have some Mad Max people who want to steal organs so they can survive. You established all that in one issue. That's very impressive because it flows surprisingly well. And again, Gary Frank's art, while I think some parts of it looked a little more rushed in this issue, it is still some of the best stuff you are going to see. It is very cool, very engaging, and I just can't recommend it enough. I think Geiger is a really fun book, and it's going to surprise you in ways you might not be expecting. You should check it out, honestly. It could be worth the fun. I think it is. The glowing man is such a cool design. I think it's awesome. So Geiger, issue number 4, I am going to give an 8 out of 10. Now, thank you guys for watching this review. Be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. As always, you can check me out on Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, all that good stuff, and I will catch you in the next one. Have fun, stay safe, good luck.